But anyway, bro, you guys ready to jump into this one?
Let's do it. Just jump right in.
All right, guys. So this is episode 39 of the Iconic Podcast.
39.
And I really can't tell you how pumped up I am for this episode because we got Eric back in the chair.
Yes, sir.
His last appearance was 6 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. 7 months ago.
Jeez,
Yeah,
man.
it was. Yeah, it was in midway point.
Already
Yeah.
6-7 months ago. So we're super excited to see how you've grown, what your future plans are. We know you got a bunch of stuff going on with not only your company, but work as well. You told me you got some new ventures going on too. So very excited to hear about that. We are going to briefly touch on the Epstein file just because it's the hottest thing on the internet.
We have to.
We're going to dive into crypto stocks. So if you guys are listening, share this episode with your friends. Drop the video a like. And if you do want to skip ahead to any other topic, you will find timestamps down in the description section below. So Eric, dude, thank you so much for coming up here, bro, making the drive.
Yes, sir.
We're super pumped for this episode, man.
Dude, let's there's so much to go into today. Let's start with UFC, man. That just happened a couple days ago. I know you're a big UFC head. We got so much hate on our predictions last episode. But what did you think about this card this time? What were your thoughts?
I mean, it was good. The Volk fight. I mean, listen.
Well, you need to take some hot takes.
I'm gonna recap exactly what I said to my cousin the next morning. I said, bro, I stayed up till 11:30 to watch the exact fight, exactly how I knew it would happen. I'm like, that was exactly how it went, how essentially went the last time.
Exactly right.
For the most part, I'm like, it was exact repeat. I'm like, it's gonna be 5 rounds. It's gonna be unanimous decision. I'm like, maybe Volk knocks him out.
I think Diego looked worse. I think he looked worse this time around.
For Lopez, you mean?
Yeah, for Lopez,
for sure.
Yeah, Volk
it was like round 3, round 4. I'm like, ooh, like Volk might knock him out, man. And you know, he wasn't able to, but it is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
The Patty fight, dude, that fight was fire.
That's crazy, dude.
Hey, he's a scouser, man. They don't get knocked out.
Bro, I
showed
said
a lot of heart.
to my girlfriend, props to her, man. She that night it was like 8:30. I'm like, oh man, like I think it was like the prelims and like Umar was fighting or whatever. And I was like, oh, I'll throw it on.
I'm surprised they put him in the prelims now.
That too. I was like,
I was like prelims? Umar? Like you don't see that.
Yeah.
He's a hot ticket fighter.
Yeah,
that's wild.
second in bantamweight, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
he's
I
like
was
in the rankings, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that was crazy. So anyway, props to my girlfriend because it was like 8:30, and I was like, I'm gonna throw on some UFC. I'm like, this is an important fight.
Did you watch the Tuivasa fight, by the way? Around that time? Did you watch the Tai Tuivasa fight?
Yeah.
Dude, it's so
bad.
I didn't see that.
Anyway, so it's like 8:30. I throw it on, and my girlfriend, like, again, she's like, this is like boring. I don't want to watch this. What's the point of this? Blah blah blah. She's like, nobody's even getting knocked out. Everybody's like just going to decision. Blah blah. Whatever. So anyway, it gets to like it's like 11:30 now. It gets to the Patty Gaethje fight, and I'm like round 1. I'm like, this is going to be a bloodbath.
Oh, yeah.
And sure enough, it was exactly how I said. And like she's like, can't somebody like just fall already? Can't somebody like just knock the other one out? I'm like, whatever. Anyway, crazy fight. I was rooting for Patty just because I think everybody was in the sense that like I get the Gaethje factor of, he's never actually been the champion. He's old. Like, Patty's got some years ahead of him. Like, I get that. But at the same time, it's like this thing of, the beef between Patty and Ilya is real, and it's been there for so long that I'm like, that fight would like, you know how people say it online, feed families.
It would be a red panty day for both of those guys.
It would be a massive fight. So I was rooting for Patty just for that, and it didn't really go his way. I thought he put up an amazing fight either way. I mean, there's not many guys that can stand with Justin the way that he did.
I think it's early though.
It's weird though because like I honestly thought that Patty was gonna smoke Gaethje, but the crazy thing was like, towards the end of the fight, Gaethje looked unscathed, bro.
Yeah, I really thought round like 2, 3. I don't know if you guys were watching it, but like his hand, like he kept holding. I'm like, he busted his hand or something. I'm like, that's it, that's over. Like he busted his hand. He wouldn't throw with it. There was like a whole like 5 minutes he didn't throw with it. Like his right, I don't know if it was right or his left, but he wasn't throwing with it at all.
Right.
And I saw that. I'm like, it's over. He's gonna get knocked out. Round 4, he comes back. He's throwing fine. And I'm like, the hell happened?
What's going on?
I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, he's fine now.
Yeah.
So anyway. He came back. I thought it was a good fight either way. I mean, Patty's got years ahead of him. That's the thing. He's got 5-10 years in his career.
He's still young, man.
He's still young. I think either way, like he's number 5 in the rankings now. He's gonna fight somebody else. He's probably gonna fight whoever.
You could find mid-table guy on those rankings. Yeah,
exactly. He's probably gonna fight somebody else, probably number 7, number 8 soon after that. Maybe gets another title shot. Who knows? Seems like Dana likes the guy, so who knows? But. Yeah, I mean, interesting fights. I know there's not another like card. I think Strickland's fighting at the end of the month. But
he is. Yep, Strickland's only gonna be on the card.
Who's he fighting now?
I forgot. I didn't.
Some no name guy.
Yeah,
not no name, but like
Strickland hasn't won though in a while either. If I'm not mistaken, he hasn't won in a while.
Well, he hasn't fought in the last 6 months because
that's true. Yeah,
he was on. He got suspended for I think fighting or some. He fought some fan and
that's right. He did some bullshit outside of it. Yeah.
So he got suspended and then I think he appealed it or whatever.
Yeah.
And it got denied, and then he was like, whatever, I'm out for 6 months.
Yeah.
But he was stirring up stuff on like Twitter trying to get a fight or whatever. And then of course he gets one. So who knows? But I think after that, then you have Holloway and Charles, and we'll see how
That's
that
gonna
goes.
be fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good fight either way. I think
it was like when Holloway fought Dustin Poirier when he retired. Like that was actually a good fight.
I always like
just a
watching
bunch of
fights.
guys. Like I mean, dude, Holloway went to war with Gaethje. That one where he like knocked him out in the center of the ring.
Yeah.
Like I always appreciate a good Max Holloway fight. He's a beast.
Yeah, I mean,
He is,
they're both getting up there in age too. I mean, we all know Holloway's not going to be. I mean, he'll be around for maybe a couple more years,
Right.
but you know, Charles, man, he loses another fight or two. He's going to be another. He's going to be like a
Usman almost.
Well, dude, Usman is gonna.
Or-
they're saying Usman might fight. What's his name? Islam. I think that's bullshit though. I saw some fake
I
Twitter
don't know,
thing.
man. I
Crazy.
But like genuinely speaking, like if Charles loses another one or two, like
Yeah.
the same thing that happened with Tony, like you know Tony Ferguson, like you get up to that
Yeah.
point, you lose a fight, you get knocked out, and like Charles is somebody who like for all intents and purposes, he doesn't really. I mean, he's got knocked out a number of times over his career,
Yeah.
but like recent years, that hasn't really happened too much. So
No.
you know, for that to happen the way that it did, who knows? Might rock him, might
Well,
not. I don't know.
Ilya's dude. If there's anybody who has that McGregor factor right now, I would personally say Ilya's the guy, man.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He's also got the drama like McGregor.
does, yeah.
Like him getting divorced right
Divorced,
now with
right.
like his wife taking everything. This is the thing with these stars, and this is why I like the Alex Pereira, right? He's legitimately probably the most entertaining fighter to watch in the entire UFC right now, and he's nonstop active. Will fight 3-4 times a year. Same thing with Merab. Do I like Merab as a fighter? Whatever, but he's active and he's actually pretty entertaining to watch.
I still can't believe he
right?
lost to Peter Yan. That was
I know.
crazy.
So like that was a great fight, right? So it's like even though these guys are they American? No, are they like are they the best fighters in terms of always? I mean, Alex Pereira is like by far super entertaining.
Dude, look what he did to Ankalaev.
Yeah, I know. Merab, is he really entertaining? No, he shoots like 27 takedowns around. It's really not. He's
all controlled time.
Yeah, I know. It's like always up against the fence, whatever. But at the end of the day, he fights 4 times a year. He fought 4 times last year. It's like, okay, like 4 championship, whatever too. So it's like, okay, respect for the guy. The guys I can't stand are sometimes, and I get it, personal reasons, Ilya's getting divorced, whatever. But if he starts pulling the same
Armand
too. That motherfucker got injured.
I want to talk about Armand real quick though,
Yeah.
because it's funny. Like Armand, the thing about him is he's a great fighter, no doubt about that. We've all seen his highlights, his big fights, but the guy just hasn't fought in so long. But what's crazy is you see people like him, you see people like Volk. They're doing other things other than UFC.
Yeah.
Like Volk's making cooking videos.
Cooking with Volk, yeah.
Armin's making these videos where he's eating these crazy portions of food.
The private jet, yeah.
Well, he's also like shit posting on social media every day. Armin.
Yeah, he is.
He's like posting like videos with Nina, like
Yes.
Drama. What's her name? Nina Drama.
They need to go from the UFC.
Yeah, and like all the time he's posting like not like I don't even follow the guy, but he's in my feed probably like 3 times a week.
Same.
Yeah.
He's more of an influencer now than he is.
I was gonna say
yeah.
the social media has made him so much bigger than even UFC did.
Yeah.
But not for nothing, like bro, shout out to the guy, bro. Like at the end of the day, if he's getting it, like who's there? Who's to hate on him?
Yeah.
I think Dana said it best. I think right now what a lot of people are striving for is engagement. That's what gets you paid.
Right.
Engagement. Even as a UFC fighter, because I just saw like this discrepancy even now in 2026. Dude, if you're like a low tier prelim, even like early prelim fighter, you're only making 10K to show up and 10K if you win. Dude, if you're fighting once a year, bro, that's 20K. You go work at McDonald's and make more than that.
Yeah,
think about that. So,
that's 20K before managers, taxes, coaches,
gyms, taxes,
gyms, like all the supplements, flights.
After
I
all
think
said and done,
some of it's covered by the UFC.
Yeah.
But like not all of them. I mean, they've got hundreds of guys. Like,
yeah.
I mean, but Dana said this in I saw his video a while back. He said basically he's like, I don't even care if you like are the most hated or the most liked, because if you're the most hated, somebody like Kobe Covington, like if you're the guy who comes out, everybody boos at you and nobody likes you, who cares? Why? Because it gets people to watch, attention, views, money. I think it's a little bit different now with Paramount because you don't have like the PPV factor. Even McGregor, like I was reading about this, they were like, oh, McGregor might fight at the White House. I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, it's not. He already announced it. Yeah,
because McGregor is a poll. He's gonna get the most amount of views. Why would you go on Paramount when you have a $7 billion deal with him? Okay, great, that's fine. But McGregor's going to bring in, or I think it's a $7 billion deal. And McGregor's going to pull in what, 500 mil, in sales between everything.
And ready?
On PPV.
I want to tell you guys an insane freaking fact I found out recently.
What's that?
And you guys already know the answer just because you're on the topic of conversation, but we'll do it for a clip. Who do you think was the fighter that earned the most last year?
Are they active?
Non-active and active. I'll give you a hint. He didn't fight a single time last year. And he was the highest paid fighter.
Definitely not Masvidal.
No.
John Jones.
No, dude, McGregor. He made $38 million last year. He was the highest paid. And the only other guy who even came close to that, if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to do my research on this again. It was like the number one, I think it was like either Alex Pereira or somebody else, and he only made like $12 million.
Damn.
I think it was Marabari, one of them. Crazy.
Yeah, I
bro.
believe it. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, there's going to be people that dominate, and that's why I'm saying, like, McGregor, they're not going to pull him out just for like a UFC
he's a
white
lottery.
card.
He's a freaking lottery.
He's a PPV card, and they're gonna. I think there was a PPV in July for the UFC or something like that, and like it's outside of their Paramount deal.
Yeah.
And people were saying like, oh, if he does McGregor, like it's gonna be in July or whatever. Like, who cares, man?
No, these.
I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, like they're gonna, if he actually is serious about coming back, they're gonna like juice the hell.
Oh, they
out
have
of
to,
it,
dude.
bro.
They've been blue balling us for the last 3 years. Look what happened with Chandler now. Like, he's wasted 3 years of his career. We talked about this last podcast, but I still can't believe it, man. Like, he hasn't fought, and then when he fought against Oliveira, what was that? Like over the summer, dude, he looked like shit.
Well, Chandler also, he had the fight with Patty too, right?
He did, yeah.
Yeah,
and he looked like shit too.
Yeah,
with Patty too.
Yeah. He didn't look good at all. He got completely dominated. I mean, dude, he's getting old, man.
Yep.
Getting old. He's not getting real fights, and he's a stepping stone now in the UFC.
That's kind of how it is, right? When you're not doing those title fights or those interim title fights, that's where you fall, right?
Yeah, man. No, it's freaking nuts, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. I'm super pumped for the. I'm pumped to see Islam come back. That's gonna be good. But even though all these Dagestani guys, they only fight once a year, like
or twice,
like Khamzat. Dude, I like Khamzat a lot.
Yeah.
But he fucking never fights.
Yeah,
there's a lot of these guys. They don't
Yeah.
fight. They're not active as much, and like some of it too is like Islam was a factor for a long time. Like his weight cuts were terrible. And
I heard that. Yeah.
And so like
Good for him,
going up now, like, and that's a lot of these things. Like even there's a number of these guys who are in like bantamweight, you know, even featherweight. Like they get to these weights and then they talk about like cutting down to 135, 145, even 155. Like Islam was. It just is not doable in the long term.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so nuts.
And then even you see some of these guys, like Patty, like Gaethje, like Volk, like they're literally cutting and then they're gaining 20 pounds the next day, and it's like that is physically not sustainable for
not at all.
15, 20 years time. Like
that is 100% not good for you.
Can't do it, and not to mention the fact that then you're literally getting kick the crap out of
oh my god,
nonstop.
Even the day before too. The day before, you saw the guy passed out during the weight cuts.
Yeah.
I think he was one of the early prelim fighters. He literally got on the scale.
He literally
made weight,
fell straight
face
forward.
first on stage.
Are you kidding me, boys? Actually,
Dude, I don't know who the fighter was, but it was some random fighter. Dude, it was bad, man.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Dude. He walked up. You can tell he's a little like shaky, to be honest, when he was like getting weighed and was on like the scale. Walked straight off, just face forward, like
dude,
collapsed.
they're losing like 15 pounds in a single night.
Yeah.
They're just sitting in like, I don't know what they do, but they wear like
it's like a sauna. Yeah, it's like a sweatsuit.
And then there's
sauna,
cardio, and then they put like this chemical in this bathtub that's supposed to like induce sweating. Bro, they drop weight like that. It's
dude,
crazy.
that's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And then after they make weight, then they go straight back to like just not eating like heavy, but like it's a lot of like rehydration.
Rehydration.
That cut is like straight. They're just dehydrating themselves as much as possible. Like they don't drink water. There's this funny video out there. I think it was when like Ilya was fighting maybe Volk. I think the first like when he fought Volk, or maybe it was Charles. I don't remember. But to be honest, it was like Dana had put a cup of water next to him.
Oh
during,
you could see his eyes.
And Ilya was like
dying.
That's crazy.
Because it was like it was like the day of like the weight cuts or whatever, like the day before. Because they like don't drink, and like after like a day or two of not drinking anything, not eating, like you just
you start hallucinating, bro.
Oh, you do. Yeah. I mean, dude, you're literally dying.
Yep. All right, so look, boys, we know what's going on with the UFC. We know what's new with all the fighters. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with these next few fights coming up. I was wrong about the Patty and Gaethje, but whatever, it is what it is. What I do want to hear about is what's new with you, Eric. Talk to us about
what are you working on, man?
Your life,
yeah, I mean, when I was texting you last night about some of the things I got going on, I was telling somebody this earlier today. I had to legitimately stop and think like, okay, what am I actually involved in right now? So obviously, like I own GCR Media. Had that business for 2 or 3 years now.
How's that going?
It's good, man. We've had our biggest months last month and this month.
That's awesome.
It's been great. I mean, this month even though it's a shorter month, we're still going to do great. December was a little bit of a slower month in all honesty. I don't know why that was, even though we brought on 1 or 2 big clients in December.
Yeah.
Still a little bit of a slower month. January was a fantastic month. No complaints at all, in terms of the agency at least. And the team is great. I'm not going to lie to you. Building a team is like the most difficult thing in all honesty.
Oh, yeah. You got to hire. You got to know what you're
getting. I was going to ask you, like, what's like the most unglamorous thing about the media business?
Legitimately speaking, no matter what industry you're in, it's legitimately always managing people. Like when I tell you managing people, and to my team, like I know you're watching this right now. I love you guys. You guys are great. You guys do fantastic work. I love you guys.
That's hilarious.
But you guys are a fucking headache, man.
Yeah.
And excuse my language. I know my girlfriend's probably watching this like, oh, you know, I know.
We'll bleep it.
Yeah.
We're not believing it.
No, I know. I got to do better with my language. But
you're good.
So, you know, it's just managing people's a headache, man. Like it's just constant, you know, stuff. And I was telling you about this a couple weeks ago, you know, it's kind of like there's a word for it or a phrase for it. It's like one man army. Key man dependency, basically.
Yeah.
And it's basically where you rely on somebody to do a job, and then if they leave, like you're basically screwed.
Yeah.
And I was never really in that position until I didn't even realize it, but I had a guy who was working thumbnails, and I had multiple guys doing thumbnails, but he was kind of my main one.
Yeah.
And this happened early January, and he was, I guess, in Iran for whatever reason. And he's not from there, but he's got family there, I guess. And he's from Europe, but he was in Iran, and he's now stuck in Iran because if you know what's going on over there, there's internet.
They're blacked out.
Yeah. And it's been like ongoing. So anyway, like
that's crazy.
I just
totally forgot about that.
I knew he was like traveling, and so anyway, like he went like MIA for like 2.5 weeks. Didn't hear from the guy. So anyway, long story short, like I was panicking, and not like panicking like a whatever, but because even when I quote unquote panic, it is what it is.
You just don't want to lose an asset, like a good guy.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is, he wasn't my main guy, but he was a big guy. And, he was an important piece to the puzzle. And so when you lose somebody who's an important piece to the puzzle, you got to figure it out. And like I said, you said hiring is a headache. And when you build a solid team, you got a solid group of people. They're great. Like I said, team, you guys are awesome. I have no complaints about literally any of you, except for the occasional, things you guys come to me with. Like when I tell you, for example, I'll give you a perfect example, right? Every single clip for the Iconic podcast still goes through me.
You do them.
No, I don't edit them. I manage them in terms of like a lot of the videos that are done, they're not perfect. There are things that need to get done, but I know you well enough, and I know us to know like, okay, this needs to get changed. That's
this
not
needs to
right.
be tweaked.
Tweaked, stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm still reviewing. That's the correct word. I still review every single video.
You like final review, final approval, yeah.
Yes. Like, and it's a little bit of a bottleneck because I can only handle like so much at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, service delivery is number one. I want to make sure all my clients are taken care of. So it's worth it, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to keep my clients. I want to make sure they're taken care of. I want to make sure they're getting results. So it's worth it. But what that means is there's constant communication. There's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of like, oh, I didn't understand this, or I didn't, everything is through text a lot. So it's like, there's a lot of receipts, but even still, like I told somebody earlier today, like, do something 2 weeks ago, and like going forward, always do that. And then they send me something today. It's not done. And I'm like, I just told you to do that. They're like, oh, you didn't tell me. Receipt, pull it up, boom, right there.
I told you.
I told you. Yeah.
I guess that's the beautiful thing about leaving a paper trail with everything you do.
Yeah.
And you know what it is?
Autolog.
Like people aren't perfect, and like I never expect my team to be perfect. They're humans. I get it. It is what it is. We're gonna make mistakes, but like no matter what, managing people is always a headache. So anyway, GCR Media has been great. Like I have no complaints about it. We're really only bringing on clients that are, I would say, bigger now. Like there's a lot of people that come to me and they want like one-offs type stuff. I can't do it. Like I had somebody come to me, like a referral from a client last week who's one of my like biggest clients, and they came to me and they're like, oh, we want to do like 2 thumbnails a month, and I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Like I said, to be honest, man, I'm like, I don't care for that.
You mean like he pretty much hit you up on, I just want to hit you up for these like one-off jobs. Like I need a thumbnail here and there.
What if they're like, you know what, I want to get 2 thumbnails, but I'm willing to pay you like your base rate, like $500. Like I don't care.
That's kind of different. That would,
I mean, at that point, it's like, well,
you could position the
margins on that are very, very healthy. What I'm saying. But I mean, at that point, yes. And I said to him, I'm like, listen, like to be honest, man, 2 thumbnails, I'm gonna charge you like $100 something. I'm like, because it's not
worth your time.
It's not worth my time.
Not your ROI. Yeah.
So but I ended up, what happening was I had a whole conversation with this guy, and I ended up pitching him like $2.5 a month. So it's like, you end up having conversations, and I just told him, like, really honest, my guy, I'm like, this is what we're running now. This is like massive operations we're running for people. You're talking about having full episodes, fully edited, this, that, blah, 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 like way beyond even what we're doing.
Right.
Like full, like it's for a company. So it's a lot bigger. And so it's like, there's a lot of, more things that are kind of involved when it comes to that. And, yeah, I mean, we're trying to run bigger operations at the end of the day. There's no incentive for me to run these little small clients.
No, not anymore, at least.
Yeah,
so,
at least, yeah.
So you said that these last couple of months have been your best months. You're projecting that the next month this month, February, is going to be even bigger. Now, when you say that, are you talking more so in terms of the number of clients you have, or more so in terms of the company's revenue?
Yeah.
Or is it a combination?
It's all revenue. Clients are like, I literally on the drive here, I was just talking about somebody about this. I could care less about number of clients. I legitimately said to him, I'm like, here's the thing. I want a really small, not small, but I want a relatively small client book. I really don't want that many clients. I want the best clients. I want the clients who are genuinely good people.
You want to be like a boutique.
And are not headaches. I said, I swear, like, the funny thing is, I just was speaking with a client last week who, I straight up told him, like, you're one of my favorite clients. I said, but in all honesty, you did not start out that way. I legitimately thought about cutting you off, and just not working with you anymore. I said, even though you were paying me, and I didn't have a ton of clients at the time, because he's been with me for a while now.
Right.
I told him, like, bro, I'm like, legitimately speaking, you are now one of my favorite clients because you really don't ever complain. Like, I never hear from you. I send you stuff all the time. You're very quick on reply times. Yeah. You're not a headache. You don't moan and complain about this, that, whatever. It's straight up. You understand when I'm busy. Like this last weekend or whatever, I was away in Florida and he asked me about something. I was like, bro, in all honesty, I haven't even started it. I haven't even looked at it yet.
Right.
I'm like, I'm in Florida, bro. It's warm. I'm trying to chill.
Yeah, I know. You're trying to get away from this freaking
I'm trying. Yeah.
weather.
I'm like, bro. I'm like, I'll look at it on Wednesday. I'm like, all right. So he's like, yeah, don't worry. He's like, enjoy Florida. I'm like, great. Other clients though aren't always like that, you know. So it's like those are the people that I want, right? Even though he's not like the client that pays me the most by any means or any stretch of the imagination, he's a great client. So I want to keep him around. It's like a hassle-free, yeah. Yes. And at the end of the day, he's an asset to me. Why? Because he sent me 2 other referrals, one of which I closed and made $3,000 off the guy. That's amazing. So it's like, in terms of that, it's worth it.
That's awesome, yeah.
Right. So like those sort of clients are assets. Not everybody, not every client's that way. I have, I don't want to say my favorite clients, but definitely per se my favorites. Yeah. Every client I have on the books now, I have no problem with. Like, that's amazing. Legitimately zero. Because if I had a problem with them, they wouldn't even be on my book.
So that's good. So let's do this because I know when we did the midpoint conversation last year, what did you think for total revenue last year, and what's kind of your projection for this year on how you're scaling your business?
Ballpark numbers.
Ballpark, yeah. You don't have to give us accurate numbers. Just give us estimates.
I mean, the IRS is watching, guys.
We'll bleep it. We'll bleep it out. Tell us. We'll bleep it out.
All right, yeah. Make sure you bleep this out.
Yeah, we'll bleep this out. Yeah.
So last year, I think between all of the businesses I'm involved in, like I would say aggregate like revenue, I would say probably about. But like
that's nuts.
That's amazing, Eric.
Yeah, I mean in terms of
revenue, that's nuts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's certain things I got to look at because I got a 1099 from the software company I run sales for. Still, I was like, all right, that was a little lower than I thought it would be. Then I have like my Stripe and all of that, and like that's super easy to look at. But like revenue never tells the full picture. Like all these guys have
profit margins. It's all about profit.
And taxes, bro.
And taxes, yep.
Taxes, I swear, like you can make $250,000 a year. It really doesn't matter because you're not taking like the thing about owning a business is what most people don't understand. Like when you talk about profit margins is number one, and then taxes. Like I think the fact that business owners get all right, controversial take here, guys. The fact that business owners, particularly small business owners, get taxed the way that they do is straight up asinine. Here's why. Small business owners make up the majority of GDP in the entire country to begin with. And at the end of the day, they're running the bulk of the economy for the most part. And not only that, but they're hustling. And they're running businesses. They induce the most stress for the average individual. Yeah. They are responsible for more things than almost any other citizen. They create jobs. They do all of these things for the world, right? And at the end of the day, they are taxed more than almost anybody else.
Oh, yeah.
And it is really not advantageous to be a business owner. No. Like, genuinely speaking, right now, if I charge somebody $1,000, okay, what am I going to take home? I mean, I have no idea. Like, I'm not going to actually say what I take home, but like,
no, you don't have to.
It is a fraction of what I actually
after it's all said and done.
It is ridiculous. Like when I did it's ridiculous because even when I did my taxes, like some of my tax like preparation and stuff like that, what I actually owed in taxes was almost exactly what I thought it would be, which is fantastic. I don't owe more than what I have to pay.
Hey, that's the crazy part. You still owe, which is wild.
You still owe, and that's the other thing. And so going into some of these other businesses I'm involved in, right? So as a business owner and as a 1099, because I own JCR Media, I'm also still a 1099. I am a sales representative and I work inside sales for a software company. Yep. It's a software as a service SaaS company. Fantastic company. I told you guys a bit about them. Yep. Fantastic. Still with them and they're great. So I'm a 1099 with them, and obviously every time I get a paycheck, I have to put money aside for taxes.
You do, yep.
Right, straight out.
24% too, because you're a contractor.
It's a solid percent.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
that's a hefty amount of your paycheck just gone. And it is what it is. It's, and you don't get benefits. That's the other thing.
That was my next question.
Zero benefits. It sucks. So that's the other thing as a business owner. Not only are you taxed to oblivion, you get zero benefits. And if you want benefits, you're paying, it's a scam. Like I have a family member, I'm not going to specify who,
about that.
and they were telling me they paid $14,000 for them and their spouse for health insurance last year.
I'm not surprised at all. I heard that for like a family of 5, you're paying like several thousand per month.
Yes,
yep.
It is ridiculous. So like, it's funny. My girlfriend and I, we were talking about this because she wants to be a paralegal, and paralegals, they don't make all that much money. Right?
They don't know yet.
They think they're capped like $75K a year, sometimes even less than that, depending on where you live at. She wants to do it purely out of, I would say,
passion
mostly.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
So anyway, I told her, I said, and I always wanted to, and I still do want to provide a scenario for her where she doesn't have to work. But I told her, I'm like, if you want to work in a law office, by all means, go ahead. Yeah. I said, because the benefits most law offices give.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
good.
There's okay, fine. You're making $60,000 a year, but the benefits are like
top tier,
way beyond that.
All of a sudden, you're like making like $80K because of it.
No, way more than that. Like top tier health
Eric,
insurance.
The beautiful thing for someone like you is, and people probably can't even begin to articulate this because you're just so well spoken and ahead of your age, but you still have a good few years on your parents' medical insurance in America.
That is true.
In America, you're covered till you're 26.
True.
So we're
got to take advantage of that, man.
When we have you on for the third time, we'll revisit this, and we'll just kind of like touch base because this is a massive thing in America. Now, I did just want to add real quick when you were talking about how small companies, like after it's all said and done, they're getting like a sliver of the cake.
Yes.
Look no further than someone like Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast has said repeatedly that those videos gross like millions of dollars, but after it's all said and done, it's like next to nothing.
Well, he's a massive reinvestor too. For me,
right.
Like I was just telling one of my guys in the insurance space, like I reinvest like, I don't want to say a lot, but like a lot. And I'm not afraid to either. A lot of these guys, they
that's
have
the way you scale. Yeah.
Yes, you have to reinvest. So anyway, I have GCR Media, which has been doing great. I have the software company which I run sales for.
Right.
A buddy of mine who used to be a coaching student of mine. I think I was telling you this yesterday.
Yeah, you did mention this. Yeah.
Him and I run a placement agency. If you're not familiar with what that is basically where appointment setters, sales representatives,
I was seeing that,
closers, people who essentially close deals at the end of the day, and setters who run DMs and stuff like that on like Instagram, emails, etc. They need to get into positions. There's a lot of companies hiring. In fact, I just hired one, so I can speak pretty clearly for that. There's a lot of companies that are hiring one, and essentially as a placement agency, there's a huge gap in the market where setters and closers want positions, and offer owners such as myself need them.
Need personnel, yeah.
Need personnel. So sort of in the sense of being a headhunter, rather we're just an agency. People come to us, we charge them a certain amount, we get them placed into a position. I kind of filled that gap in the market accidentally because I had my coaching student who was coaching appointment setters at the time, and a bunch of offer owners who I knew, they were like, hey, we need appointment setters. I'm like, oh, look no further.
Yeah.
There you go.
We got a whole pipeline right here. Yeah.
I'm a middleman. Great.
Yeah.
Easy money, zero work, 2 group chats, $500, boom. Like easiest money ever. And so I've been running that on the side. In terms of the last couple months, it's been like ridiculously slow because my business partner per se, which I really don't like using that term because I'm very anti-business partner, at least for myself at least.
I understand. Yeah.
With that, he was and still is a coaching student of mine, and in 6 months, it's not going to be my business. Like it's going to be fully his. I'm doing this purely because I have access to the offers right now, and eventually he will have them too. But it's really a network thing that you just build up over time from being in the space, and people
knowing
get to
the right
know you.
people. Yeah.
Yes. So like at this point now, he's starting to go out and find like his own things, and so it's becoming less of my thing and more his. But like an extra $1 or $2 a month never hurts anybody.
More revenue.
So so that's always nice, right? And him and I just go straight down like 50-50 profit split. So it's been nice, but like that's not gonna be my business in 6 months. I've told him that. Everybody who's gotten involved with us, I've told him like, listen, bro, 6 months, I'm out of here. I never want to get involved with this again. I said because to be honest, it's a lot of talking to people, and there's a lot of like random nonsense you can't control. Like if I put somebody in an offer, for example, say like somebody who's a sales rep comes to me. You saw something on my Instagram earlier today about hiring a sales rep. That's for the software company I'm affiliated with. They trust me enough that they want me to hire somebody and then train them, which is fantastic because it says I'm doing great things. But in terms of say like somebody comes to me and I put them in a company and they don't do their job, then they come back to me saying,
falls on you.
I got fired and I need another position. It's like, what do you want me to do? Like
You screwed up the opportunity.
You,
Yeah,
like genuinely, you suck. Get better. I can't tell you what to, like. Yeah. I can't control that. So I kind of have like a rule of thumb. Like I'm gonna do my best job to get you in a position. If genuinely speaking, the position is terrible for whatever reason, and like it's not your fault that you can't make money, come back to me. I will try to do my best, by you at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, I can't control everything. So it is what it is. And then in terms of that, like again, it's not gonna be my business in 6 months. So who really cares?
Yeah.
But and then I've got a couple other like small things I'm working here and there. But I mean, the insurance industry is something I'm in. I work with a lot of people right now. I'm deep in that space.
Insurance, like what kind of like life insurance or?
Primarily, yes, but I'm working more like advanced products, right? So people like not just necessarily like, final expense coverage. I'm really working with people that are in a scenario where they want to actually secure peace of mind for their family and like actual risk mitigation.
Someone like Frank.
Yo, you know who?
Frank's a perfect example. Yes. Yeah.
Have you seen the guy on Instagram that does the cold calls?
Giuliano Massarelli.
Yeah. Oh
yes, I know him. Oh, everybody knows him, bro.
Dude, he sells.
The guy, the company.
He's hilarious.
So I'm gonna kind of shoot myself in the foot here. So the company that does his leads, Closer Tech. Yeah. So my technically speaking upline, he's really just a good friend of mine at this point. Cam, he just started speaking with the guy who owns Closer Tech like last week, or a couple weeks back. And so I've actually been working Closer Tech leads, and they're actually pretty darn good, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
even on $1 or like that's like there's different tiers of leads.
There's different tiers. Like,
wait, what's that about? Tom? What's that about?
So basically, like there's this organization that like actually gets you leads, and you can buy them off people, so you can just call them.
Oh yeah,
like lead generation.
Lead generation. So they're doing it for you.
Yes, they run the Facebook ads, and then you purchase the leads, and you just have to close them. The thing with leads are, they're really iffy.
It's hit or miss, bro. You're either gonna get dog shit or you're gonna get like gold mine.
Legitimately, some of these leads are like people, like we were just having a conversation about this. Some of these leads are people who like filled out like a Walmart job application.
Yeah.
And it somehow made its way to that funnel.
Yes. Like
that's
it is
wild.
Ridiculous the amount of crap.
But at the end of the day, like that's gotta be like that's a pretty big business lead generation.
Dude.
So these guys.
But it's all buying data. That's all they're doing.
I'm not gonna like pocket watch like this guy Maze who owns the company Closer Tech.
Yeah.
I saw some video the other day. I have no idea if this is right. Somebody was like basically shitting on Giuliano Massarelli.
I saw that guy
saying, "Oh, you don't close, blah blah blah." And somebody then commented on that and was like, "Oh, well, Maze was basically the guy who owns Closer Tech was paying Giuliano Massarelli like $5K a video. So like if he's paying $5K a video, that means he's probably making ridiculous.
Like we'll say close to like high end, close to six figures. Like
bro,
it
is ridiculous.
Dude, if you're paying that kid like that much money, it's just great though.
These
you
guys,
gotta watch his content.
It's super entertaining.
It's super entertaining.
Lead guys make so much money. Like if I want to start all over from nothing, I would just go straight into leads. Probably in the insurance or finance space. It is just ridiculous.
When you say that, you mean get into the business of lead generation?
Yes.
I remember you mentioned to me you knew someone that was in the lead generation for like the niche of like pest control.
Yeah, that was a while back. Yeah, I still know him. I think he changed businesses, but yes.
Really? He exited that?
I'm not going to speak too much on him because like if you actually try to find who I'm speaking about, you probably could. But from my understanding, I think he's pretty public about it too. He basically tried to push his company to 100K a month, and he got there, and then everything broke. And like
he grew too quickly, probably.
Yes,
yeah.
He and this is the thing. I've said this with my agency like time and time again. I legitimately just said this 30 minutes ago or an hour ago, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like if you like, there's a number in my head in terms of the agency that I'm going to get to, and I'm just going to say nope. Okay, I'm done. I'm not growing anymore. Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, the cost to benefit ratio makes no sense. Like, okay, for example, say we'll just throw a random number out there, like $30,000 a month in revenue. Okay, cool. $30,000 a month revenue. Zero headaches. Every client is happy.
Oh, yeah.
I do very minimal work. I'm just management, talking to clients, making sure everybody's happy. Very minimal work, 10 hours of work per week. Everybody's happy.
It's a match made in heaven.
Right. I make enough money at the end of the day that I'm happy. I have a bunch of employees and contractors. They're happy. Clients are happy. Everybody's happy. So that's like the dream scenario, right? Now, if I were to push to say $50,000 a month in revenue, okay, now everything starts breaking. Now I've got unhappy clients. I got this, that, whatever. So at a certain point, there's a balance.
Get a bottleneck too.
I don't know what that number is. I have a ballpark of probably where it is at, just from like a perspective where I'm at now. And maybe that changes. Maybe I can figure out systems to put in place. But at a certain point, it's going to just not make logical sense because I don't care to be the guy that is like, I'm involved in so many things at this point, and I will continually be, that it's like, I don't care for my agency to be the thing that like I work 40 hours a week on. I could care less. Like, I want to work enough that my clients are happy and everybody's getting results and everybody's like whatever. But I don't need to be so nitty gritty involved in things. And I really don't want people calling. Like, I'm not the customer service guy. I don't have time for people calling my phone 24/7. Like, I'm unhappy because, well, we got a video and the video actually like, blah, 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 blah.
You don't have the bandwidth for that
No,
kind of
I
crap.
don't. It's so low ROI. So it's like, I want the clients like you guys, like how many times have like, well, we've been working together, what, 10, 11 months now?
Yeah, we're
Genuinely speaking, Nick, you've never called me upset ever.
No.
Ever. Like, you've texted me here and there. I know we had a thing the other day. Like,
Yeah, we had our call.
yeah. But it's like,
That's
bro,
normal, yeah.
It happens. It is what it is. We get through it. But at the end of the day, if you were doing that shit, like say every week, calling me, whatever, I drop you.
There comes that point where you're
There
almost
comes
like,
that point that makes no sense.
No sense, yeah.
Yeah. But again, like the other thing too is everything, you have to really look at it from like a bird's eye view. Like, and I have to do this a lot with, my clients, like looking at things from an unbiased perspective of, okay, does this genuinely make sense to keep going? Like, what's the cost? What's the benefit?
sometimes you got to zoom out and like really evaluate.
Yeah, none of my clients that I have now I've ever had to think about that with. But like I've had clients in the past, for example, where I've had to think about that, and a lot of them end up leaving anyway because it doesn't make sense. Similar to what we were talking about right before this podcast, it doesn't make sense on both ends. So I mean it's interesting, but in terms of I think there's a certain number where we'll hit, and then it's just like, all right, we'll
serious question. I gotta ask, because I've noticed you're kind of more you're not as money driven as I thought you were.
Oh, I am.
I know you're money driven, but let me ask you this. I want to get to the point though with this, because I know you mentioned you're willing to cap your revenue to a certain point, but avoid all the hassle. However, let's just say private equity, because private equity now, they're always buying businesses like this.
Right.
Whether it's a trade, whether it's a software company, what do you think is your number?
Good question, Tone.
To like cash you out, like as you're scaling your bit. What do you think? Private equity came here, offered you a check.
Oh, I just don't ever foresee that happening, because I work in such a niche industry where it's like you have to know, like if somebody were to buy out my business, the thing would fail.
Right, but that's not your problem anymore. They're just cashing you out. Though.
All right, like
that's what I mean. You don't care about your business.
Hypothetical, it'd have to be in the ballpark of like, I would say right now, I mean, $500,000 would probably cash me out, bro. Like, I mean, $500,000, like,
that's good.
Bro, $500,000 at 19 though, like you're
fucking
set.
You're in an amazing spot,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Dude, you're like richer than like 99.9% of all 19-year-olds.
Would anybody
crazy.
offer me that? No, probably not.
Not yet.
Not yet. I mean, in a couple years' time, that's gonna change too. Like the number's gonna go up. It's gonna be $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. Like who knows? But I mean,
right now that's kind of funny though.
As you naturally scale, that number goes up.
100%. Like and rightfully so. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have any intentions of selling it. Like I have a certain number I want to hit in terms of like net every month, and like just a certain number of hours I want to work
keep
for a
scaling
week.
that,
Yeah, and then like I get to that point, and it's like, all right, like I'm not gonna say I'm taking my foot off the gas pedal, because I'm most certainly not. But it's like, don't break something that
don't break something that's moving good.
That's working good. Like I'll fix things here and there. Like for example, like Nick, you know this, right? I have a really great system in place, great team. Okay, we've got a good team, good people. What do we focus on now? Speed. Everything is speed. Okay. Podcast or a client has a podcast. Okay, great. How fast can we get it done?
Dude, you literally had a clip for me from the Frank episode, like day of.
That's crazy.
That's like crazy turnaround.
That turnaround time is fucking nuts.
Yeah. So it's like, now that's the game I'm in, because I could care less about like, the client necessarily, like these small little things, building out a team. Like I've got a team now. Like I say, it's not to like, I some of these prospects, like they come to me and they genuinely don't believe my turnaround times, because it's ridiculous. And some things take longer than others, obviously, but they think I'm like joking, or they think like, oh, that's not important. Like, bro, you're coming to me telling me that a video is taking like 7 days to get done. This is important. Like I had a client who I signed on December. He was telling me that his prior guys, and I literally saw this in real time, because as I first signed him, he started a little bit of work with like these previous guys he was with that he was under contract for. And so like I saw this happen in real time. He would send them a video, like a full episode. It would take him like 3 weeks to get it done. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, bro,
the full episode?
Yes, the full episode.
That's fucking
but you know what the thing is? Like,
oh, by the way, I'm not gonna say who this is or whatever. He was paying them $2.5K USD per month, and they were taking 3 weeks to get a video done.
Dude, that's almost like 40 grand a year.
But it's not. No, like, that's just ridiculous.
That's crazy.
When
the guy could have came to me and I would have took half that.
Yeah, literally.
And I'm not even a friggin' editor.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
So he was getting essentially robbed at the end, and they were doing more than like just the full. Like they were doing the thumbnail and all this, whatever. Like, but it was really bad.
Still, though,
that's
a
really,
lot. Yeah,
really bad.
That's the thing though. Finding those high ticket clients, man. Holy crap.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, like you really got to go through the trenches to find some of these guys though, because they're just guys with that are
Find a couple idiots that have a lot of money.
not necessarily idiots, but people.
Yeah,
because a lot of them are not idiots. They just don't know, because it's not their space. They just don't know. And so like
you don't know what you don't know.
You don't
know what you don't know. And it's like, listen, these guys who are successful in real estate or investing, banking, finance, whatever it is, they don't know anything about social media or content. They know that it's worth it. They know it's worth their money,
they know the investment's
but they don't know what the price of anything is. So for you to come in and tell them like, listen, your video's taking 3 weeks. I can get it done in 3 days, like, or sooner than that. Like
at the same quality,
full episode, same quality, if not better, for a cheaper price. Like, bro, it's a no brainer. So stuff like that. It is what it is. But anyway, I think speed's a massive thing now. My team has got like guys all around the world, so they're kind of 24/7 in terms of like I try to get things done.
Do you purposely source it like that, or is it just these are the guys you kind of got out of like just like your hiring process?
It's a mix. Like
honestly works out though because you're talking 24/7 with that time zone.
Yes, it's kind of a mix. I also work nights. Like
fair.
It's really a hassle to get me out of bed before 8 o'clock in the morning. Like legitimately. Yeah. I'm up until like 2 a.m. Like, Nick, like, we'll be texting like when you get off from the bar or whatever. I'm up until like 2 a.m. most days. So like a lot of my guys, whether they be in Europe or like wherever, like they're 6 hours ahead or, 7 hours ahead. So it's like, I'll text or I'll sign them work at like 11 o'clock at night. They get up, boom, work. So by the time I get up the next morning, boom,
you got some
done. So it's like that works super like ideal in terms of time zones. There's other things too. Like I got guys in Australia, like all over. So it kind of works out.
Yeah.
Was it intentional? Sort of not.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
definitely helps.
Oh, it helps massively. But like some of it was intentional. In terms of I try to have people all around the world. Some of it is not.
Just by chance.
It's just by chance because I'm at the end of the day, I don't really care what time zone you're in. If you have got fast turnaround times, you can work well. You're not hard to manage. You're really receptive in terms of like what to do. Yeah, have at it. You know what I mean? I'll bring you on.
Dude, just understanding your business is so interesting, man. There's so many components to it that I didn't even know existed. And it makes you kind of wonder a lot. Like, damn, there's like so many ways to make money.
Bro, there's a lot. Like, I was just telling my guy Greg this. Greg, you'll probably watch this at some point. Like, bro, I have and who's been on here, 3-4 times or whatever. I was just chatting with him last week.
Yeah.
And Side conversation, sidebar for another time. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, viewers. This is a whole.
There's a lot of lore.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore to this. But anyway, I actually mentioned it because he is a perfect example, right? At the end of the day, I was saying this to Greg. I got no sympathy for people. Like somebody was just telling me, we were talking about this guy, not gonna name names.
Yeah, of course.
Didn't want to buy leads for life insurance. He's kind of more an entry level guy. He's not working advanced, stuff like.
Yeah.
He didn't want to invest in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to reinvest. So, but then he's coming to me. He wants to gamble money on a.
That's so stupid.
Always, dude. Always.
So anyway,
people's priorities are all fucked up. Yeah.
But then also too, it's like, bro, here's the thing. I'm 19 years old. Okay, if you just take my personal credit lines, not my business lines, which are a lot more, just my personal credit lines, I have probably $40,000 in access to credit right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm 19. That means that any 18, 19, 20-year-old or older can get access to like 30 grand. Like that
easily.
Literally.
Easily.
At 0% APR on Wells Fargo, Chase Bank,
21 months.
Citibank.
Crazy offers.
Yes, for 12 months, 0%. I'm like, are you telling me right now that I basically have free money for the next 12 months? I can take it and I go figure out whatever I need, like whatever I need to do. Yeah. 30 grand right now. Like, genuinely speaking, if I was starting from zero right now, I would go and I would probably take a risk and probably go and like take $5 grand out and figure out how to do ads on Facebook or whatever. And then go into lead gen. Like if I was starting from zero, that's what I would do. And I didn't like find my way accidentally into like the podcast space. That's 100% what I would do. Reason being, it's almost a no brainer because like worst case scenario, okay, below $5 grand, I got a year now to figure out what to do and how to pay this off. Okay, that's like absolute worst case scenario. Best case scenario, I figured, out. And then guess what? I have a skill set I can make 25 grand a month on.
100%.
So it's like at that point, I had literally no sympathy for people because if you don't even want to reinvest in yourself and take the risk and bet on yourself, you're going to be broke. It doesn't really matter.
That's what it takes.
I have zero sympathy for you and you can stay broke. I hate to say it, but you can literally stay
Scared
broke.
money doesn't make money. Yeah. That's just always been the philosophy.
100%.
That's facts. You know who really highlighted that and it kind of give a realistic roadmap to like being successful. I'm not sure if you guys know him, but Hadi Abdel, he's the guy who does the Diamond Gym. Oh, yeah. He does all like those things. He talked to some dude about it. He goes, dude, I worked a construction job, worked from 7 to 4. He goes, I saved up a shit ton of money. He goes, and I told myself, I'm going to be working on this media stuff on the side. And until I could go at least 5 months, take a big fucking risk, he goes, I quit my job. And he goes, once I started seeing the revenue come in with my social media, with my YouTube channel, then I fully quit and I went all in. But I mean, the reality is there. It's like you have to, it's that cliche line, but it's so true. You work 9 to 5 so while you're working on your 5 to 9, you could quit your 9 to 5.
Exactly,
You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
just that's the formula. But to your point, no one wants to invest on those things.
It's
No one
so
wants
true.
to
Some
invest on
people would rather
yourself.
spend it on
Yeah.
dumb shit.
The dumb shit, like clothes, like things that don't give you an ROI.
Yep.
Well, even I just told somebody this earlier today. Yeah, I want to move to Florida at the end of the year, and so it's like there's a lot of these moving pieces right now, and there's a lot of costs that obviously come with that and all of that. And I'm going to Florida at the end of the month again, so it's like, whatever. But anyway, the point is, I said to somebody, like, given my finances right now, I could probably go and buy and get approved for any car that I really want under $100,000. Maybe a little less than that, maybe like $75,000.
Still, but that's impressive, yeah.
Right.
You're 19, dude.
Yes. So it's like legitimately, I can go buy a Corvette, I can go buy a BMW, I can go buy whatever I want, given my finances currently. In fact, I've considered it. I was telling you this. I almost bought a BRZ, Subaru BRZ, number of times. Never pulled the trigger. The numbers didn't look right to me. Didn't really want to do it.
Sure.
That, and I also, like, again, some of these things coming up, it was like, well, the numbers don't look right. They're not where I want them to be. Given everything cost-wise is coming up, like in the next couple of years, doesn't look good to me. Like, all right, whatever. And some of that's a little, like, I don't like saying that because it's a little bit of like scared money in a sense. Like, I don't believe in myself, but at the end of the day, I also realized like the difference between being 19 with a Corvette and 24 with a Corvette is literally nothing. But the difference between being 19 and putting that money away and 24 and putting that money away and making smart financial
That 5 years is big.
It's massive.
And the compound interest is unrealistic.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's unreal.
So with that in mind, I was like, all right, well, even though the end goal is, yes, a C7 Corvette and all this whatever, and there's all these cars I can go and get approved for and buy and
keep
whatever.
making them shits 5 years from now.
Yes. I'm like, I'd rather just be really financially responsible and be a good steward of my money and put it away and be smart. And then in 5 years, I can go buy 3 Corvettes instead, and I don't really have to worry about it.
No,
You're just better off financially, dude.
Yeah,
you pay
makes
cash
way
at
more
that
sense.
point, yeah.
Way. I mean, I probably wouldn't pay it cash just because the interest on it, and I know like James talks about the stuff like that. The people at the end of the day, they only buy things cash if they're looking for write-offs. Like people with a lot of money, they only buy things cash if they can write it off.
Like G-Wagons, you see that's always like a big thing, or like Teslas and all that.
Yeah. Otherwise, they take the loan because the interest rate on the loan is going to be lower than whatever yield they can get by putting it into an investment.
It's like only 3-5%.
Yeah. There's like a 3-5% gap on like the interest and then any yield you're going to get. So it's almost a no-brainer to take that money, put 20% down, get a decent loan, pay it up early. I mean, there's no
prepayment penalty. You're fine.
I haven't thought about doing that. When I was thinking about buying the BRZ. So, I mean, who knows, man? Like, there's all these different things that are coming up in the next couple of years. But
dude, that's awesome, man.
Stuff,
dude,
man.
I was gonna say it sounds like it's all really good stuff.
Yeah.
For a 19-year-old who's financially stable and successful, man, I give you hats off to you. If I could redo my life, I think I'd make better choices when I was 19 because my early 20s I fucked all that up. However, though, speaking of money and speaking of investing, we have to bring back the XRP situation.
Oh, man.
Because we got cooked. So for those that know and for those that don't know, we got ripped up in our clip. We'll link it below so people can go back to it just for reference. But you made a prediction on XRP, and we got to recap that and where it's at now and what your thoughts are for the next like 6 months. Because
man, I got to be careful what I say. They're going to actually come for me this time.
The XRP community is going to be going crazy.
Like, bro, the XRP community is the biggest crypto cult in the entire space of crypto. Like, I've been in the crypto space a couple years now. I'm no expert. I really don't care to sit here and comment on it. But like, the XRP community is the biggest cult in the entire space, and they're the most gay individuals ever. Like, they
gotta clip this.
They are so gay. Like, everybody in the comments, like, this guy's a retard. This guy doesn't know anything. This guy, I hope he gets shot. Like,
word. Somebody told you to get cursed.
Literally, and the craziest thing is, from when you made that comment, if I remember correctly, XRP was at about $3 a pop. Now it's at like $1.50. So XRP has gone down like 50% in value. And I do just want to add real quick.
Yeah.
At this point, I probably will scoop up a little bit.
You have
myself,
to, yeah.
Only for as you say, bro, just for the plot. Because at the end of the day, you throw $1,000, that thing pops off. Like,
Nikki, I know you're more insightful in this. Tell me what's going on with crypto though too, because like we've all been seeing it. Bitcoin's down to 72K. That's a 40% drop. Like
4-year rule.
4-year rule. Okay. Yeah, highlight me on that.
Yeah, I'll talk to it about that. I feel like the financial markets, not even just Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the biggest one they're talking about now just because it's had such a big dip recently.
Yeah.
Everything's been kind of on the way down. Like, I don't know if you guys saw gold. Gold has been skyrocketing for the past couple of years. Gold was at like $5,500 an ounce.
So crazy.
Dude, $5,500 an ounce. And then you see the other day, gold has like a 15% pullback.
Really?
Gold came down.
Silver went, I watched that in real time. Silver and gold went, like, gold was like 5,500, went back down like 4,700, and silver went from like $115 to like 83. I think it like dipped down to like 80. Yeah, it was
really.
It was low. And I don't like, in all honesty, I have nothing to do with silver. I really it's not true. I do own some physical silver, but like in terms of actual money, I don't own that much.
Right.
gold, I mean, I have a lot more, I would say assets there, but not even direct gold. Like there's gold ETFs that I own.
Absolutely.
Like I'm going to say my highest performing asset in the last year, brutal honesty, not Bitcoin, not any of these other like NVIDIA crap, like nothing. I bought gold ETFs when I first opened up a Roth IRA years ago when I first started working. I just bought a handful of them. You know, they were like $20 a pop at the time. They're like $100 now. I have made more money on those in the last year, percentage wise, not necessarily like money wise.
Right. $20, yeah.
Yes, but percentage wise, by far, like legitimately speaking, it has gone up. Like it just keeps going up in percentage of my portfolio, like the percent, because the value keeps going up. It just keeps going up and up and up and up. I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, this is like becoming too much of my portfolio. I might need to sell some because it's now getting to the point. I'm like, this is like, it's not my largest, but like it's that I bought a handful back in the day, and it's like one of my, not necessarily in total investments, but in my Roth IRA at least, it's like, okay, this is now becoming a pretty big like you know, asset I have in here, and this is accidental. I'm just keep riding it.
And keep riding it, but at the same time, like the thing is, like something with gold, I think you'll always be good with because in the next 30 years, gold is going to be worth even more than $5,000 an ounce. But at the end of the day, like there comes that point where you have to skim profits off the top.
You do, yeah.
So many people held a lot of these big tech stocks all the way to the peak because everyone, I get it. Everyone wants to hit the lottery. Like, oh no, it's going to keep going up, keep going up, keep going up.
Look at Oracle. Oracle's a great example. That rolled back.
Oracle has been tanking.
Oracle is the gayest stock in the entire stock market because it's owned by Larry Ellison, who is, I'm not gonna get this well, technically speaking, not demonetized.
We'll blow that word.
Yeah.
We'll blow that word.
Yeah. I mean, this guy's I mean, just looking at Larry Ellison, he now owns. He's got a 20% shareholder stake in TikTok. He owns, technically speaking, CBS, Paramount, and so with that, he also owns the UFC.
Dude.
Yeah.
How much stake does he have in Epstein's Island?
Yeah.
Wait, you guys see that thing on TikTok? If you right now go on TikTok and type in Oracle, the Israeli something with Israel comes up.
Are you kidding me?
I swear to
God.
But
TikTok is like really censored now. Like they.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah.
I mean, he was just telling me like you guys got like one. We got like one strike left on the TikTok.
Yeah.
before
Oh,
it gets
really?
taken down. Yeah. It's like bad.
I shit's about to go under.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like all this stuff we can't put on there, but it's ridiculous. But I mean, that's because like Larry Ellison. Okay, so. I'm really not like a conspiracy theorist, but this is like true.
I'm glad because we're gonna get to FC files after this.
This is like true fact at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Larry Ellison grew up and was childhood friends, if I'm not mistaken, with Bibi Netanyahu. Okay, Prime Minister of Israel. Larry Ellison is now a multi-billionaire. Okay, he now owns Oracle, one of the largest data hosting companies. I think that's what it is, data hosting company.
Right.
In the entire world, billionaire, and the company's huge,
yeah,
right?
Oracle's...
And it's only going to go up in value. Okay, so that's Oracle. He now owns CBS, Paramount, 20% stake in TikTok. You already know he's got control over that. They put some, I don't know, Zionist type individual.
Dude, and all the contracts he signed with the with NVIDIA and all those guys with the whole AI aspect of it, like that's why his stock shot up the way it did. Yeah.
So
all these contracts.
So this guy, like, you know, at the end of the day, who, I mean, I don't really care. It doesn't impact me that much. But it's just very interesting. There's a lot of these guys who, they have a lot of power at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And you look at it, it's like, well, you know, friends with Netanyahu, what's going on there? You know, and this comes after the Charlie Kirk letter came out too, to Netanyahu saying we're losing the media battle. You need to control the media battle. So what does Netanyahu do? You know, Mr. Larry Ellison, you know, you got money. Can you please purchase TikTok, CBS, and all the assets associated with that? And I think CNN falls under that too. So, you know, there's all these things now where you got to look at the media, and I think, you know, traditional media, we spoke about this on the last podcast, it's dying in a sense, but like you look at it, and I think Frank said this on the last podcast, I really don't care. Like, I was a very big, like, I don't want to say I was like politically active because like in society I really wasn't, but like I was on top of crap like 2 years ago when Trump was running.
Like you just in the know.
I was in the know, like paying attention. Like
what's going on?
I definitely had my opinions about. I'm like, let's go, all this, whatever.
Yeah.
And like last year, I'm just like I would say honestly, last 6 months since like Charlie Kirk was killed, like I'm just so desensitized to it. Like I'm just like, okay, this stuff is all like everything.
It's all going about shit crazy.
Yeah. There was some video I saw on social media, and it was like this guy who's like an America First guy. Not Fuentes, but not Fuentes, some random guy.
Yeah.
And he was basically saying, he's like, listen, he's like, everything in the political space is either gay or what was it? It was either gay or retarded or something like that. And it was basically like, because if you look at everything on both sides, it's either like super gay or like super retarded, because you look at like who owns the companies, who's friends with who's sending money to who, who's like a donor to this.
Everyone's
person,
got a backhand deal.
Everybody's got an angle.
I'll
I'll even say this, right? I'm in the insurance industry. Okay, I was just telling my mother this. I stopped by her house earlier today, pick up some mail because it's my birthday last week. I got some stuff in the mail, whatever. Anyway, so I was telling her, I'm like, the insurance space. I said, at the end of the day, okay, please bleep this out. It's run by Jews at the end of the day.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
I mean, you don't really have to blank that out, to be honest. I don't really care.
No,
but like genuinely, like and listen, I'm gonna be brutally honest. Like I have clients that are Jews. I have clients that are Jewish.
Of course.
I have no problem with them. But if you genuinely look at the insurance space, the banking industry, the finance space, they're all Jews.
The media space.
Right. And like at the end of the day, the media as well.
Yeah.
And it's like when you look at it, it's like, okay, here's the thing. Jewish people, they came here, they immigrated here. This is really not your country. This is not a Jewish country. So at the end of the day, please understand this is a Christian country, and we are going to adhere to Christian values and beliefs. Yep. You trying to take control of our media and our companies and our organizations and our society, it doesn't work like that, okay? So when it comes down to it, you look at some of these, the like insurance, for example, and it is the most bureaucratic, like backhanded industry ever. I like everybody's got an angle, and I just said that there's so few people, Cam being one of them. Cam, shout out if you're watching this, you're a great guy. I was just telling somebody earlier today, Cam's a Christian, great guy. From my understanding, he's a Christian, great guy. I trust the guy quite a bit, but there's so many people, like I've seen enough of it. I'm really not even in the space that deep, to be honest. I've barely been in the space like 6 months,
right? And
it's like everywhere you turn, somebody's got an angle. Somebody's trying to like, get something over somebody else.
Oh yeah,
and no one wants to pay.
Nobody wants to pay.
No one wants to pay.
No, I mean, they're like a lot of it's like direct to carrier, so you don't have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah,
but
fair.
like everybody's got an angle over somebody else. The number of times like teams fall apart, people are doing this, that, whatever.
Yep.
Literally speaking about the exact team I'm on, but like things are like just. Everything is so backhanded, and at the end of the day, there's just a lot of nonsense. And I just said to like in the insurance space, you can grow and you can have your own team, you can have downlines, people that like report to you, get overrides on what they make and blah 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 blah. And like that's the play for a lot of people because it's like recurring revenue. Because if you have people,
that's the whole point. That's how you get rich in insurance.
Listen, exactly. Yeah.
Listen, Eric, you mentioned real quick. You were saying, and I think that this is a very good pivot point. You were talking about how. This is America. It doesn't matter who you are. You should not be taking over our media.
Right.
All these different industries that we have. But the sad thing is that's kind of what has happened.
Oh, it's
as
insane.
you've seen, like America's almost like Israel.
It's all propaganda. Everybody, both sides have propaganda now.
That's what I was gonna say. Which brings me to one of the other big points, one of the other big stories that I wanted to cover in tonight's episode, which is the Epstein thing.
Epstein's
now,
crazy.
The first thing is like so many people are talking about the Epstein files, and what I want to say real quick is it's not one file. It's a collection of documents.
Wait. I want to clarify something. The exact number of documents is 6 million.
Yeah, it's in the millions.
It's in the millions.
But funnily enough, you know what's funny about that number?
Oh, I know exactly. Yeah.
I'm not gonna front. I'm totally lost.
That's how many Jews
died in the Holocaust.
What?
Yeah,
that's the number that floats around.
Yeah.
And like it's a running thing because they just released that there's 6 million total files last week, and everybody's like 6 million.
It's like, what is that
6
number?
million. Where? Well, that number that's an oddly specific
it's
number.
Crazy, yeah.
So what are people more?
All jokes, guys. All jokes.
Yeah,
of course.
So nuts. I mean, big coincidence.
So what are people more pissed about now? Are people more pissed about what happened, or the fact that there isn't action being taken against all these people that are?
That's
in
the
file?
The latter.
That's more so what's going on right
People
now?
are pissed off. There's a lot of people that are guilty. Our government. Here's the thing. One thing I've established last year going into this year, we're so corrupt. Our entire we've always stood there like, oh, we have a voting system, we have all this, we have all that, we have these values. Dude, we're as corrupt as a third world country.
As a third world country.
Like it's everybody. Like to your point, what you were saying before, everybody has a backdoor deal.
Yes.
On everybody.
Yep.
That's why certain people get into office. That's why certain people run certain ways. Like if you look at some of these Democratic ran cities, you look at these Republican ran cities.
Yep.
Everybody's controlled by somebody.
I agree. Yeah.
And for whatever reason, we have our balls squeezed right now by Israel. And that's a whole other conversation. That's why it's so
It's not
relevant.
even Israel. I mean, that's one aspect of it.
Yeah.
But like, I'll give a perfect example, right? So I say this to somebody who was I think a lot of people in 2024 were like huge Trump guys. Trump.
Oh, 2016 was massive.
You know, in 2016, I'm talking about 2024.
Oh, yeah, even, 2024,
like 2016, like I remember 2016, I was in school at the time. Like I was young. And I remember like if you were a Trump supporter, bro, like you were like,
a scumbag.
Bro, you were like a Nazi back
That's
then.
what I was going to say.
2020 was worse of a Nazi, yeah.
2020 was worse. And then 2024, everything like switched. Everybody was like, Trump's cool, bandwagon, Trump's going to win, America, blah, blah, blah.
It's weird because now I feel like it's starting to slide back.
Oh, everyone hates him now again.
Because here's the thing. At the end of the day, like I don't think the president has that much power. In all honesty,
he doesn't.
There's a lot of like.
There's too many things going on.
Yeah. But anyway, like that's just one piece of it. Like there's still a lot of things he does have control over. And I'll give you a perfect example, right? So last year, actually, something he ran on, and he kind of was like iffy on it, but like something he was saying is like, oh, we're gonna get rid of the H-1B visa workers, right? So are you familiar with what H-1B is?
I'm not. Remind me of that.
So essentially, right. So for people who are watching, an H-1B visa worker is somebody who is a foreign. Somebody who's a foreign citizen, could be from anywhere in Europe,
yeah,
India,
Which the majority of them come from.
But really, anyway, that's why I emphasized it. But China is another one, like a lot of these other countries. So anyway, an H-1B visa is basically where a company will sponsor the visa and will pay for it so that the employee can come over and work for them. The premise was saying that we don't have American workers that can fulfill said need. So it's essentially a government visa so that other people can come over on a visa, and it's really like it's almost instant. Not like instant like there's papers and stuff, but it's much faster than trying to get your citizenship. Really fast, comparatively speaking. So a lot of companies, what they started doing, mostly Silicon Valley companies, tech companies. My father worked at Toys R Us until 2017 when they went bankrupt, and I had a long conversation with him about this, and he was a perfect testament to this. When he was at Toys R Us, they started outsourcing work, and they started bringing H-1B visa workers over here at a discounted rate because everybody wants to come to America, land the free, whatever. And so they started paying like these, say, Indian workers $30,000 to come over here.
And by the way, they're happy as a pig and shit.
Yes. Yeah. They are happy to come to America, get paid $30,000 a year, basically make no money, but comparatively speaking, they're going to send it back to their family in India, make a ton of money. They're going to be rich over there. Yeah. And here, whatever. But the American worker isn't getting effed over because the American worker is going to demand at least six figures, 150 grand, whatever. So the argument is that American citizens are getting effed over because there's like almost, I think it's like 700,000 H-1B visa workers in the country. Now, I'm not saying all of them need to be deported. I'm not saying that. No. But a large portion of them do, because I'm sure like 50,000 of them are required because American citizens actually can't fulfill said needs. Okay, fine. I get that. But the bulk of them, 500,000 are not. So, please support them, because at the end of the day, they're just effing over the U.S. economy. And Silicon Valley companies, as much as I'm a free market capitalist and all this whatever, there's literally zero net like benefit to it besides the companies that already have money making more. So anyway, Trump's, running on, okay, H-1B visa, we're going to ban it, blah, blah, blah. Gets into office and basically does nothing. And when I say that, like he did do something. He raised the cost to get an H-1B visa worker from like, I think it's like $5,000 to $100,000. So he raised it. So the barrier to entry is higher. But
they saw the money.
These companies don't care. Yeah, because guess what? Shit. They'll break even in like 3 years, not even a year sometimes.
Like legitimately from India will pay 100 people that.
Yes,
are incompetent. It's so easy.
It is ridiculous. So like basically, people were saying we need to ban H-1B visas. We need to deport almost everybody who's here and give these jobs back to Americans. And I was a big proponent of that. And then Trump basically comes in and says, "Oh, well, we're not going to do that because these companies, they're really important and they make up a lot of the U.S. GDP." Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I basically say, all right. F Trump, whatever. Because, and not me personally, like I don't really care.
Yeah.
But
you're
like,
not alone in that.
Just like, who cares at that point? Most people aren't looking at this stuff because they don't care. But I do understand like the outsourcing perspective. But at the end of the day, like these companies are, multi-billion-dollar companies. They don't need the money. Like that's not the angle. Like they're truly, it's just margins at the end of the day to effed over American citizens and get labor done for less. So anyway, Trump did all that, and then I started. I'm like, all right, well, why would he do that? Like, doesn't he care about the American people? Well, you look at and this is going into Fuentes territory here. You look at who essentially were the donors to Trump's 2024 election. So in 2016, it was like 60% small party donors. So like people that were like individuals, small businesses.
Pretty sure he stick his own money for a little bit.
Yeah. It was like 70% small businesses and like 30% like PACs, donors, blah, blah, blah. 2024 it flipped, and all the Silicon Valley companies, Meta, all of them, Mark Zuckerberg, big Trump guy now.
All those guys.
Trump this, Trump that.
Elon Musk, like Tesla.
Yeah.
I mean, all that shit.
That's just so stupid.
But like all these people got behind him, and it completely swapped. So now it's like 60-70% big money, big corps, Silicon Valley guys, all just backing Trump. So
all these lobbyists,
lobbyists, PACs, etc. So it's like, okay, so now you've got basically the establishment backing Trump at that point. And so you think that they're going to back Trump and not request certain things, saying, oh well, we'll give you all the money in the world, but please don't ban H-1B visas because we make billions of dollars off that every year. So it's like, then you look at that and it's like, all right, well, that's a pretty easy connect to why that happened. Yep. So, well, the Epstein files, man, I mean,
was Trump on the island ever? I heard there was like a lot of.
So he's still negating it, but his name comes up like, what was it recently? Like 43,000
times. Trump's name was in the Epstein files more time than Harry Potter's name was in the Harry Potter books.
That's no way.
Insane.
But it's so weird though, because people were saying like, apparently he was never technically on the flight log, but dude, those Caribbean islands are like a mile
even
apart.
Even if you didn't go to the island, you were somewhere.
You were in the vicinity, bro. You had your super yacht.
Dude, you guys hear about Elon Musk though? That was hilarious.
He's like mad defending himself on Twitter, rightfully so. Like I get it. But
even worse, apparently, like he wanted to go.
Oh yeah, that was the thing.
They wouldn't let him on the island.
He was asking to go, and he just I guess never ended up going, or
I guess Jeffrey Epstein didn't want to hang out with the guy.
It played out obviously like better
in his favor.
He's taking a lot of heat for it now, dude. Elon Musk.
Oh yeah, I mean,
not that he gives a shit, but you know what I mean.
But here's the thing, right? This is gonna be really controversial, like really controversial.
Let's see this hot take.
I think Fuentes said it, and everybody else kind of said it. And I had this conversation with somebody last week, and it's like, all right, listen, you're a billionaire. Okay, multi-billionaire, super successful. You own a real estate company, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, your buddy Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and all these multi-billionaires, blah, blah, blah. They all go to this island. All right, they invite you. You're like, oh, okay, cool. What island? Oh, whatever. You just go. Who cares, right? Okay, now you're on the flight logs. Everybody's calling you a pedophile, blah, blah, this, that, whatever. Right. It's like, okay, I just went to a party because everybody else was going to one, and it was on an island, and they were like, I guess young girls there were like, I don't know, I didn't really ask questions, but it's like,
yeah, but you're fucked though, because
yeah.
No, but Eric, you're money with that because at the end of the day. Association doesn't mean that you're guilty.
But
that would be the same.
In the American public, it's guilt by association.
Yes. You're on the money with that, but that would be the same thing as saying, and many people do say this, that like with the Diddy shit, whoever knew Diddy was involved in. No, that's the guy.
LeBron.
Like, it's just so crazy.
LeBron.
Yeah, it was LeBron. It was the same freaking type deal.
It's like for example, it's like the best way I can imagine. It's like, let's just say you're 20 years old, right? You're in college. And somebody invites you to a house party, right? And that person's also 20 years old, right? Everyone's drinking, and you hook up with some girl and don't end up realizing that girl's underage.
Yep.
That's where a lot of people are in this situation right now, because next thing you know,
then you get blackmailed.
Then you know, like, oh shit, like, dude, you're a predator on paper, but you had no idea.
Well, also 20 years ago, too, when all this crap was happening 10, 20 years ago, the media wasn't like what it is today.
No.
The thing is, now everything's recorded.
Now everything's recorded. Everything's all over the place.
You leave a paper trail with everything.
Do anything, it's on Twitter, blown up all over the place. It's like, all right,
it's so nuts.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like, I think Fuentes was saying this. It's like, all right, well, listen, Epstein, he was the cool guy. Like, he was in the circles. Like, he knew everybody. Like, but everybody. But I mean, it's probably true to a certain extent. Like,
yeah, because you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. If you just see a cool guy, you're in a certain circle. Everybody's like, oh, he's a cool guy, whatever. Like, you don't know.
Killer parties.
Right. Killer parties. Oh man, like there's tons of good
fucking
people.
Like 30 plus.
Blah,
We're like,
blah, blah.
oh, I'm gonna have all these girls here
on an island and shit.
It's like, what are you gonna know?
You never know. So. Who knows, man? I mean, some of it's definitely intentional. You look at like the Bill Gates stuff, and
I was just gonna bring that up. So Bill Gates and Prince Andrew seem to be like the two biggest people that are like guilty with this kind of shit.
Yeah, they're denouncing the fuck out of him right now.
But what's this? So I heard this crazy thing. It's part of the Epstein files where Bill Gates, Epstein actually has emails that he sent to himself as drafts with all of these encrypted blackmail messages where he's saying to Bill Gates like, you were pretty much giving your wife pills and shit to put her out while you were doing X, Y, and Z. So Bill Gates, dude, he was involved in some kind of shit.
You guys hear about the pizza reference? They keep talking about pizzas on that thing. Yeah. I'm like, I wonder. I mean, you kind of get a good sense of what the fuck that means, but still.
It came out like they have like all these code
words.
words.
Fucking code.
Yep.
You saw right now also Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are
they
going
agreed
to
to testify.
Yeah, they're going to testify. It's getting messy.
I mean, listen, man. At the end of the day, here's the thing with American politics.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Really, yeah. You know what's kind of fucked up though?
Like people, I don't want to interrupt you, but like people spend like their actual like this is the thing, right? Even on the right, I was kind of guilty of this like about 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
The whole like Tucker, Fuentes, Candace, like
the whole
all of this like just super like back and forth like split in like the GOP per se. It was like,
it was
whatever.
Crazy.
Like, between like
Trump betrayed us.
Yeah, between like Israel first and like you could say America first, but even that's kind of subjective per se because everybody's like you ever see like Spider-Man? I mean, he's a Fed, he's a Fed. Everybody's like pointing like they're a Fed. It's like okay, who cares? But like even like most people are gonna get so caught up in that like guess what? Most of these people who follow, and I'm going to be brutally honest right here, most of these people who follow Fuentes, Tucker, Candace, here's the thing. They're literal nobodies. They're all broke. They have nothing going for them. Not all of them, because some of them do. And some of them genuinely are going to go pretty far in life. But most of them, if you take a look at most of them, I would say it's like an 80-20 split. Yeah. Most of them are nobodies. They're broke. They have nothing going for them except sit on social media all day. Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk was a time traveler. Can you believe that?
No, you're so right. Like, it's funny you'd say that because there's someone else that we know. Dude, this guy is so consumed by politics that he watches thousands of YouTube videos about it. And like the thing is like, so I voted for Trump, and not a big part of it was Kamala was just shit, and I wasn't gonna do that.
Yeah.
But not gonna lie, I don't like redact my vote, so to speak. But what I will tell you is this: every time you have a conversation with the guy, he's like, "Well, this is your problem because you voted for Trump." Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, my man, at the end of the day, the sun comes up, the sun goes down. I go on my bed at the same night. I live the same life. I'm not gonna blame the guy with the orange hair on TV as to why I have a shitty situation.
Right? Yeah. You gotta have to figure it out for yourself. And I think really to wrap this conversation up, I think you have to end up realizing that I understand people protesting. Right? I understand having your stance and your values and your philosophies and all that shit. Truth of the matter is this: we all have jobs. We still gotta pay fucking bills. Exactly. Doesn't matter who's in office. you still gotta get shit done.
It's fact.
You still gotta feed yourself. You still gotta put clothes on your back. Like, all this shit's going on, but truth be told, me protesting right now out in whether it's Palestine, Israel, whether it's fucking Kamala, Trump, whoever the fuck it is, if I don't go to work, bro, I'm homeless.
Yeah, exactly.
Protesting ain't gonna pay me. Exactly. You know what I mean? So,
well, maybe some of these protesters apparently.
I really they're making bank.
But
that's funny.
Yeah,
but you know the point. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Like,
you gotta
get money with that.
Like Fuentes says this a lot. I mean, I listen to the guy here and there, and he's an interesting guy to listen to. And some of his fans are just straight up retards. But
he brings up some very good points.
Yeah, and he's like, listen, he's like, at the end of the day, bro, he's like, stop watching my stuff. He's like, if you're broke, you're 20. He's like, you got nothing going for you. You don't have time to watch.
Open
my
up
stuff.
a fucking book.
He's like,
something.
Open up a book, get educated, and he uses the terminology like, what do you call it? You gotta increase your power level. It's like the like the Groiper language or whatever. He's like, you gotta increase your power level, get your money up, get in the circles, go undercover, like don't let them know you're true. What I don't know what it is, but like basically, he's big on like, you know, kind of going into the system and changing it from within. And I think a lot of, you know, per se politicians and people are for that matter. It's interesting, but yeah, I don't know. I think on that note, get your money up, guys. Stop taking the world so seriously. There's much bigger things. You know, figure out how to live a good life, retire your parents, take care of your wife and kids. Yeah, that's all the advice I gotta say. And
that's a good way to wrap that shit up.
Yep.